Good day and welcome to this Tech Lab video. In this video, we're going to handle how to export drawings from your normal PDF concept of printing to a DWG or DXF format. So the first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to open up the docket manager. This is on the Tech Class Structures 2022. And what we're going to do now is we're going to choose our drawing. So let's say we're going to choose the isometric drawing. So if you open up the isometric drawing, just wait for it to completely load up. Right. So as soon as you open up the drawing, I'm going to show you this is how drawing works. Now, what's important of your drawing is exactly what you see is what's going to be exported. But I'm going to show you what you should try to avoid, especially when it comes to on a view that has information on it. So this is the isometric view. So what we're going to do is we're going to export two views. So what views we're going to do is I'm going to say on section A and B, and my isometric view 1 is the item that I'm going to export to a DWG format. Now, as you can see, for instance, on this part, we have quite information. We have some dimensions, etc. Now, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Let's say you look at we look at this item right here. Right, so I'm going to double click on this item along with a few other items. Let's go with, yeah, let's choose this one, the pipe, those two pipes. And what I'm going to do now is what you need to avoid when exporting is you need to avoid putting it on a hardware solid, any color. Actually, I'm just going to choose special. So what happens is if you press B, it shows you how it's going to appear on a PDF, which looks very good. It looks very nice, has a good shade to it, and it helps with the drawing to actually visualize it better. So I'm going to save now, and what we're going to do is I'm going to close the drawing, and then we're going to export it. And once we export it, I'm going to show you where it will go to and what happens and why you should avoid, when exporting to DWG, why you should avoid filling it with hardware. Right, so now, again, let's open the docket manager. We're going to choose these two items. And we're going to go ahead and say export. And here you can choose what you want to add to it, the file prefixes, what type of format you want to use, the layer rules, etc. So I'm going to leave everything as is for now. All I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to a 2000 format. The reason we choose 2000 is if you don't have the latest AutoCADs, you won't be able to open it and do editing on it or whatever if you need to remove certain items maybe, or if you need to edit something or anything like that. So now you can draw it as a snapshot to CAD model space, etc. All of that. Now, if you choose open preview, you can just click refresh and we'll show you what you're going to see. But it's not the true how you're truly going to see it, since you're going to use the only way to truly see how it's going to look like is by opening it in AutoCAD. But what it's going to do is it's going to show you what view is going to be shown like that. Then it shows you this is how it's going to look like on your item. So I'm going to close it now. At the layers, you can choose. You can either choose your line weight, line styles to go according to your Tekla or to your CAD drawing. Right. You can even choose how you want to filter it, etc. I'm not going to do any of that right now. And again, here you can choose, do you want it as a DWG or DXF? Now, the reason I gave you also this is some companies prefer to use a DXF file, and the DXF file is used on other programs as well, not just AutoCAD. So any CAD viewer, and some want you to export it as a DXF file because they want full-size plates. And your Tekla has the function to do so and do it so properly and well enough, but you do sit with the problem sometimes that if you've drawn incorrectly and you export it that way, that sometimes it doesn't export the plates correctly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to choose export now. So let's choose the export function. As you can see, it's busy exporting. and it's going to give the name G1 isometric 1 ref 4 or whatever you want to call it. So it all depends on what ref you are currently on, and it has all this information over here. And then you can put in a prefix also. It will go automatically to your plot files location. I'm going to show you how to get to the plot files location. You can change it. You can either choose open folder when finished. You can tick it on and export it. I didn't, because I want to show you now what you can do. So you go to your drop down menu and open model folder. And once it is open, I'm just going to draw it over here. You're going to see plot files are located right here. And there we have it. So if I open up my section view, I'm going to show you now why I advise you not to export it as a solid. The hardware solid function and the color with that, why you should try to avoid it. However, it does look good. It does look good once you use it on a PDF. You print it, then it looks very good because it has a different shade. It looks actually very neat, has a good view to it. But as soon as you do it like that, my AutoCAD is opening on the left screen. I'm going to move it over, don't worry. But as soon as you do that on your AutoCAD, I'm going to show you now what happens to the item. So I'm going to pull it over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on my mouse button, and it's going to throw it out like this. Now there's two ways of doing this. This is your model space. In your model space, everything is scale 1 to 1. So if I press L for line, this should read 4220 from grid G to grid A and 4220. As you can see, this is now on a scale 1 to 1. But if you want to see your rest of the item, you go to layout 1, and here you have your logo. It exported your logo, everything into this right over here, and then you can then export it or do whatever you want to do with it. Now here's what happens when you do it with the exporting of that item. As you can see, it becomes a solid item. It's a green color, and sometimes if you've tried to delete it now, you'll see that it removes it completely. So you have to explode it, and you have to then edit it, and yeah, it's a big waste of time, because here's what happens. It even removes how the bolts will look like. As you can see over here, you don't have a hidden value anymore, nothing like that. So it's not ideal to use it, and that's why I would say just continue using wireframe instead of hardware solid when exporting this items. So yeah, this is basically how you're going to export your items to a DWG or a DXF format, depending on your client's request.